Hi, my name's Matt Powell and today I'm going to show you my top 5 tips for catching more fish in the springtime. Right then, tip number 1, and it's all about location. Where to fish, why I'm choosing them lines. So I tend to try and choose the deepest part of my peg. It's all very sunny at the moment, spring is around the corner, but it's still very cold at night, which means the fish aren't going to be in the margins, they're going to be halfway to right across. So this is the reason why I've picked my 2 swims. I've got a swim in the deep water, fishing with maggots and a little bit of ground bait, and I've got a swim further across into the lake to try and hopefully catch a better stamp fish. So that's the reasons why I fish them 2 lines. Right then, tip number 2, and it's probably one of the most important tips of the day, and that's bait. So a lot of people, now the sun's come out, starting to get a little bit warmer, start to think piling a load and load of bait in, and it just doesn't work. The fish aren't there yet, they're not ravenously feeding, they're just starting to wake up. So the worst thing you can do is start piling a load of bait in. And my bait tray is just so simple. It's just, oh, there's a decent fish there. So my bait tray is really simple. I've got 3 pints of maggots, red maggots for this middle line. And then I've got some micro pellets. Micro pellets for fishing across to the, and look, left one, that one. Some micro pellets for fishing across to the far bank. Some Cell 2mm micro pellets. I've got a mixture of 50% F1 sweet, 50% 100% crushed expander ground bait. Just put in an odd ball here and there. I've got some expanders and some corn. Now, because I know this lake is full of eyed, it's absolutely teeming with them. Sometimes maggots, when you want to be selective and catch a carp, is no good. So to be selective and to try and catch a carp, that's the reason why the corn and the expanders are there. So edge your bets, don't go mental with bait, keep a nice, sensible side tray and you'll catch loads more fish. Right then, now I've got this fish in, it brings me perfectly to tip number 3, which is all about the rig I'm using. So, rigs for this style of fishing are really simple, but I know on this lake that there's a lot of eyed in here, and this is the line that I'm targeting them on. So 6 to 9 Maver dual core elastic, nice and soft, hook the fish, get it out the swim. It's not going to make a massive splash on the surface, nice and easy, get it out the swim. 016 MVR rig mono mainline, 2 back shot of number 8 brick, and down to a MVR Finesse Series 1 float, and that's in a 0.4. Now that's important because I want to get the bait down through the fish and get it fishing. I want to catch them on the bottom. Don't want to catch them through the water because eyed can be an absolute nightmare when catching them through the water. So that's down then to a simple bulk of number 10s, an inch kicker shot of a number 10, 5-inch gap to another number 10, another 5-inch gap to another number 10, a 5-inch hook length of 010 MBR hook length mono. It's going to get me out anything that swims in this lake. Biggest carp in here is about £4. It's no problem, it's going to get it in nice and easy. And then that's matched to an ES45 Maver hook in a size 18. Really balanced gear, and it's going to catch everything that swims in this lake. Right then, tip number 4, and it's all about reacting to the weather conditions on the day. Spring can be an absolute nightmare. You're going to be faced with wind, sun, maybe rain, all different, oh, there's another fish there, all different scenarios throughout the day you're going to get in spring. So my tip for this is to have everything ready with you. You need to have rigs for fishing on the bottom, rigs for fishing shallow. You know, we're feeding maggots, these fish might come up when the sun starts to get up and then upper layers of water start to warm up a little bit. These fish are going to come up and compete in the upper layers. So always have yourself covered with different top kits for different fish, and throughout the day you're going to be chasing them around your peg. So tip number 4, fish to the weather conditions. Right then, last tip, tip number 5. And it's all about information. Now what I mean by that is information about the venue, what you're going to catch, how you're going to catch it, where you're going to catch. If you're turning up blind to a venue, there's loads of different places you can find information on that venue. You can go on social media, you can ask the venue manager, the venue owner, ask the anglers, see what the people are catching on the lake. Don't be ashamed to ask people what they're catching on. And if you do this, you're going to have an even better day's fishing. And one of the best ways of looking and to seeing how people are catching is through match results. You must look at match results. It's going to tell you what the hot pegs are, what they're catching on. Sometimes venues put in what people are catching on, what they've caught on. That gives you a really rough guide and a very basic guide to what peg to go on, what lake to go on, and what baits to use. And at the end of the day, if you do that, you're going to have a cracking day's fishing, and that's what it's all about. Right then guys, so there you go. There's my 5 top tips for catching more fish in the springtime. Get yourself on the bank, use the tips that I've said, and you'll definitely put more fish in your nets. Tight lines everyone.